Yo, what up, guys? Ross Scalps here, and in this one, I'm reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine. And as you guys can see, I got whatever Deadpool this is. If I had to guess, it's expensive Deadpool because of the price. So this might be the first time in years that I've been this excited for a movie. You know, a movie that's action-packed, has comedy, has suspense, is emotional. So when I heard they were coming out with the Fabulous Four, All right, so I think everybody had the same thought, right? This is going to be the summer blockbuster of the year, if not movie of the year, in terms of anticipation, hype, and just overall bringing you back to the movie feeling. And I think the general consensus is that most people were looking forward to this movie. You know, you got Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, along with some of the returning cast from the first two Deadpool movies. The director of this movie is Shawn Levy. He's directed Night at the Museum, Pink Panther, Real Steel, and The Internship. So he has a few notable movies under his belt, but overall it's a Deadpool movie. You know what you're getting, right? The jokes, the gore, and just Ryan Reynolds' performance as Deadpool, because at this point he's Deadpool. You know, when he's not in the suit and he's playing other movies, he's Deadpool. And, you know, I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. You know, the first and second one, I think they're solid, but this is not really my cup of tea. I can't really rewatch them a lot. But going into this one, I was pretty excited. The only thing is I didn't watch the previous Fox movies or X-Men movies, you know, before this, so I know. But, you know, I was still excited for this movie, even without watching the other movies. Just the fact of Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up, man, that's a sight to see. But after watching this movie, I gotta be honest, it wasn't good. It was great. Alright, so this movie is basically about Deadpool wanting to quit being a superhero. You know, he wants to do something that gives him meaning in life. And after trying different things, he just settles on being a car salesman. But then one day the TVA come and take him, and they give him an opportunity to have that meaning in life. But after Wade finds out what their true motives are, he realizes he has to save his universe with the help of the Wolverine. Alright, so this is a movie where I feel like after you watch it, you just can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about some of the fight scenes or some of the cameos that showed up. You just can't stop thinking about it. Like, even now, I want to go watch it again. And that's where I'll go into some of the pros. I think the main one, obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine. They carry. It's literally them, probably 90% of the movie, just them two on this journey, dialoguing and interacting with each other. It's just incredible to see on the screen. And they just do a great job, especially with the fight scenes, you know? Shawn Levy, they let him cook. They let him cook. I mean, these fight scenes were great. They were really entertaining, enjoyable, satisfying. It was fan service. They knew what their fans wanted, and they delivered. They gave us some really fun, entertaining fight scenes, not just between Deadpool and Wolverine, but a bunch of other characters had their moments, and that was some great fan service. And speaking of fan service, the cameos in here, I think they did a good job of not putting in too much where it kind of just felt like a cameo fest, but doing enough to kind of give a send-off to the other characters that never had a send-off or never had an ending. You know, I think that was done well, and I think the cameos in here, they did a good job. You know, there was enough that when you saw some of them, it kind of made you feel a certain way, like a memory unlocked. It was cool to see. Along with that, you have the jokes. Obviously, this is a Deadpool movie. You kind of get the similar comedy from the first and the second one, but I think this one had the most jokes. It really just depends on if you like the comedy or not from the Deadpool movies. It has a similar style, but just tuned up a notch. So that could be a pro or a con. And the last thing I'll say about the pros is Deadpool and Wolverine. Their arcs in here. At the beginning of the movie, they're two completely different people. You know, Wolverine is down on himself, and Deadpool is down on himself. So I guess they're kind of the same. But now their personalities are completely different. And I think what they're both going through throughout the movie gets resolved well at the end. You know, Wolverine, he's really lost it all. And, you know, Wolverine has some really great scenes in here, some really emotional scenes, whether it's his talk to Deadpool or another talk that he has some really good emotional scenes and scenes that make you resonate with him. And by the end of the movie, his arc was resolved, or his arc is complete with the person that he was to the person that he ends up being. But yeah, those are some of the pros. I mean, this movie is just fun. Like, that's what this movie was. It was fun, entertaining, action-packed, suspenseful, kind of like Fabulous Four. But now I'm going to get into some of the cons, and I think the main one, and it really depends on how you look at it, but for me, it was probably the story/villain. And I think the story, it's your cliche, we have to save the universe and get to this before, you know, it destroys everything. You know, we can't let this thing happen at the end. We have to stop them and save the universe. We've seen that before. And I think the problem is they spend a lot of time either in fight scenes or them to interacting or them meeting other people, cameos. It's just like the story gets put on the back because they're doing so much in the middle. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but that could be a negative, right? And the villain, like I said, she's really powerful and really intimidating, but the problem is she's like Ultron. She gets nerfed. Her powers can scale this high, but they kind of like bring her down. They don't allow her to show her full capabilities. There are maybe a few scenes where she can, but for the most part, she doesn't get to show it, and it's kind of underwhelming. You know, that's another thing. I think the ending to this movie is a little underwhelming in the fact that, you know, she's so strong, but the way things are resolved, I just feel like it was underwhelming in that aspect. And then, I mean, from there, I think the cameo scenes, while I think they were good and some of them were placed very well and they gave justice to certain characters, I think there were also other characters that they kind of did dirty, whether it was throughout the movie or even at the beginning of the movie. You know, if you've seen some of the older movies, the beginning of this movie might upset you if you're a diehard fan, maybe. But for me, I didn't mind. I'm just saying in general, people might be upset. And some of the cameo scenes, I felt like it hurt. You know, some of them got done dirty. But overall, this movie, it was fun. It was entertaining. It's everything you want in a Deadpool and Wolverine movie. They gave you enough. They gave the fans what they wanted. And my theater was packed. You know, I go to the movies every week, and this is the most packed theater I've had since No Way Home. You know, so the draw was there. The people wanted to see this movie. But with all that being said, I think I'm going to give this movie the golden ticket. Now, this is officially the first golden ticket on the channel, but I want to go back. I think Wonka deserved a golden ticket. As cliche as that is, I'm going to give the first official one to Wonka. This will get the second one. This movie deserves to be seen in theaters. You should go all out for this. It's a good movie. It's entertaining, fun. My theater was clapping, cheering. Like, it was a great time. You don't want to be at home watching this on an illegal site, you know, and then go watch it in theaters. Ain't that right, Chuck? And so, yeah, I'm going to give this the golden ticket. You should go all out. Have a good time. Maybe buy a hot dog with some relish and mustard and mayo on it. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. You know, comment below what you think if you saw this movie. And also comment your favorite pre-Marvel 2008 Iron Man movie. Mine would have to be The Punisher or Spider-Man 3. Those are just two of my favorite movies, probably of all time. With all that being said, thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.